This audiobook unlocks the hidden gates of 33rd degree knowledge, where your highest consciousness awakens and creation responds to your every vibration. As you listen, you'll remember the timeless truth. The power you seek has always lived within you, waiting to rise. Stay with this wisdom and watch how effortlessly your reality begins to transform. 33rd degree knowledge. Introduction. From the moment you enter these teachings, you cross a threshold into the realm where power is not something you chase. It is something you are. This power has lived within you since before memory, flowing through your spirit like a silent current waiting to be recognized. The ancient masters knew this well. True mastery is not achieved through study, but through remembering what your soul has carried across lifetimes. The 33rd degree is the summit of consciousness, the place where thought and manifestation merge into a single breath. In this luminous state, you witness yourself not as a seeker of universal law, but as one who already moves in harmony with it. Nothing here is new. Everything is a sacred remembering. Do not think of the law of attraction as a mechanism to control reality, but as a sacred mirror revealing the frequency you hold within. When you align with Source, manifestation becomes as natural as the tide returning to shore. There is no pushing, no forcing, only the effortless unfolding of what has always been yours. At the 33rd degree, you realize that creation does not originate from your effort, but through your openness. You become the instrument through which the universal intelligence plays its eternal melody. Every thought you think and every feeling you hold becomes a vibration sent into the vast field of creation, shaping the world around you. What these chapters offer is not knowledge to accumulate, but ancient wisdom to reawaken. As you move through the teachings, you will feel truths rising within you, truths you have known long before this life. The power you seek has never been missing. It has merely awaited your recognition. You are not here to become powerful. You are here to remember that you are power, a living expression of the force that shapes galaxies and births worlds. Before we get into the book, comment, "I am ready," to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Awakening of Inner Power. Chapter 1. The Spark Beneath the Skin. In a small mountain village there lived a woman named Hazel who could never find peace. Each morning brought a restless stirring, an inexplicable urge to move, to change, to seek. She would rearrange her home endlessly, switch careers frequently, and always felt that something essential eluded her grasp. Until one day, while sitting beneath an ancient oak tree, wisdom dawned like the morning sun. This restlessness was not her enemy, but divine energy awaiting direction. The force you feel moving within you is the same power that spins galaxies and unfolds flower petals in the spring. This vital energy responds to your every thought, your slightest intention. When you learn to recognize it not as anxiety, but as pure potential, you begin to speak the language of creation itself. Your perception shapes the very fabric of your experience. The universe does not distinguish between what you observe and what you imagine. It simply mirrors back the vibration you maintain. This is why two people can encounter the same circumstance, yet experience entirely different outcomes. Their inner vision determines their outer reality. Consider the tale of Max. a merchant who noticed that his days seemed filled with increasingly unfortunate events. A morning's slight irritation at a cold breakfast would spiral into missed opportunities, difficult customers, and eventually significant financial setbacks. It wasn't until he understood the magnetic nature of emotion that his fortune began to shift. Each feeling sends ripples through the quantum field, attracting experiences that match its frequency. You are not merely observing your life, you are broadcasting it into being. Every word you speak carries a vibration. Every emotion you hold becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of possibility. The power lies not in controlling circumstances, but in consciously directing your inner energy. The ancient ones knew this truth. Energy flows where attention goes. To master your reality is to master your inner state. Begin now with this sacred practice passed down through generations. Find a quiet moment each day. Place one hand upon your heart and breathe deeply. As you inhale, envision golden light expanding from your core. With each breath, feel this radiance growing stronger. Speak these words with quiet authority. This energy within me obeys my highest intention. Let this light envelop you completely before returning to your day. Through this daily communion with your inner power, the space between thought and manifestation naturally diminishes. You become not just an observer of life, but a conscious conductor of its symphony. Chapter 2: The Whisper That Shapes Worlds. Within you stirs an ancient dialogue, one that has existed since the first conscious thought emerged from the primordial silence. Your inner voice, far from being a solitary monologue, participates in a vast cosmic conversation. Let the tale of Junie reveal this truth that awaits your recognition. Junie walked the bustling streets of her city, lost in thoughts of a new creative project. Suddenly, from a passing car came the exact melody she had been humming in her mind. Later that day, a stranger at the cafe used the unusual phrase she had written in her journal that morning. These were not mere coincidences. They were the universe speaking her own language back to her. What you perceive as random echoes are actually the responses to your energetic broadcast. Every thought you release carries a unique vibration, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, reflects these frequencies back through the mirrors of daily life. Your world is an echo chamber of consciousness, where each vibration returns multiplied. Byron discovered this truth through an unexpected path. As a man who wielded skepticism like a shield, he had developed a habit of meeting life's mysteries with cynical humor. Yet when he chose to lay down this armor of disbelief, something remarkable occurred. The world's whispers grew clearer, gentler, more affirming. Where once he saw only chaos, he began to notice elegant patterns. His morning thoughts would materialize as afternoon encounters. His questions would find answers in unexpected conversations. The universe speaks not in thunderous proclamations, but in the subtle language of synchronicity. Your belief is the tuning fork that allows you to hear these whispers clearly. When doubt clouds your reception, the messages seem muted or delayed. But as faith grows stronger, the dialogue becomes more vivid, more immediate. Each morning holds the potential for such sacred conversation. Before the world awakens to its full chorus, find a quiet moment. Speak your heart's desire as if sharing a precious secret with your dearest confidant. Let your words carry the warmth of certainty, the lightness of trust. Then move through your day with open awareness, knowing that confirmation will appear in its perfect form and time. This is not manifestation through force, but through friendship with the fabric of existence itself. As you practice this gentle exchange, you'll find yourself becoming fluent in the language of energy, where thoughts become things and dreams find their way home through the pathways of possibility. Sacred practice. In the peaceful moments of early morning before the day unfolds its full complexity, find a quiet space. Speaking barely above a whisper, share your deepest desire for the day as though confiding in your most trusted friend. Let your words float like gentle ripples on still water. Then move through your hours with quiet expectancy, knowing that the universe will respond with subtle signs of acknowledgement. This daily dialogue strengthens your bond with the infinite intelligence that surrounds you. Chapter 3. The Still Voice and the Storm. In your quest to understand the universe's whispers, you must first master the art of sacred silence. The wisdom of this truth unfolds through the journey of Millie, whose story mirrors the struggle within your own heart. Millie yearned for tranquility with such fierce intensity that her prayers became desperate pleas. Each morning, she would recite affirmations for peace, yet her words carried the trembling energy of fear. "Please bring me calm," she would whisper, while her thoughts raced with scenarios of what might go wrong. The more she spoke of seeking serenity, the more chaos materialized in her life. The universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration. When you chase peace with anxiety, you unknowingly magnetize more reasons to feel anxious. This is the great paradox that few understand. Manifestation accelerates not through constant action, but through conscious stillness. Clark's revelation came through surrender. After years of pursuing inner peace through endless workshops and practices, he found himself exhausted and further from his goal than ever. It was only when he collapsed onto a park bench one autumn afternoon, completely relinquishing his spiritual striving, that true serenity found him. In that moment of pure detachment, he understood. Peace was not a destination to reach, but a presence to allow. You see, the universe's abundance flows most freely through the channels of stillness. When you cease the internal struggle, when you release the compulsion to control outcomes, you align with the natural current of creation. This is not passive resignation, but rather the highest form of trust in divine timing. Consider how a clear pond reflects the sky perfectly, while troubled waters distort the image. Your consciousness operates by the same principle. In stillness, you become a pure mirror for divine intention. Your role is not to force manifestation, but to maintain the clarity that allows it to emerge naturally. The practice of sacred stillness. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes gently, allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm. Begin counting your inhale for 4 steady beats. As you exhale, silently affirm, "Peace attracts exactly what I need." Let this truth settle into your being, not as a desperate wish, but as a calm acknowledgement of what already is. Practice this before making any significant decision, and watch as reactive impulses dissolve into clarity of inspired action. Chapter 4. The Hidden Architect. In the shadows of an ancient library, a young woman named Eleanor traced her fingers across worn manuscripts. She had always believed her life's path was predetermined, etched in stone by unseen hands. "What will be, she would say, surrendering to circumstances as though they were immutable decrees. Yet the universe holds a deeper truth. You are not merely a character in life's story. You are its author. Your beliefs are not chains that bind you, but keys that unlock new chapters of possibility. When Eleanor encountered two wise teachers in that library, they showed her something remarkable. Between dusty volumes, they pulled out a blank book, its chapters gleaming with potential. "Your story," they said, "is still being written. Each thought you hold is a word on these chapters. Each belief you embrace becomes a chapter in your journey." This revelation mirrors the truth that now beckons you. The universe does not dictate your destiny. It responds to your deepest convictions about who you are. Your self-image is the foundation upon which all manifestation builds. When you change your story about yourself, the universe must adjust its reflection. Consider Ralph, who moved through life like a shadow, believing himself unseen and unvalued. In every meeting, he would shrink, expecting to be overlooked. His reality faithfully mirrored this belief. Opportunities passed him by. His ideas went unheard. His gifts remained unopened. Then came the day he discovered the power of self-authorship. Instead of accepting his role as invisible, he began to see himself as a beacon of wisdom. With each passing day, he rewrote his internal narrative. "I am a source of valuable insights. My presence enriches every room I enter." The shift was subtle at first. A colleague asking his opinion, a stranger stopping to hear his story. But as his new self-image strengthened, reality reshaped itself to match. Opportunities began seeking him out. His words carried weight. His presence commanded respect. Your power to reshape reality begins with the story you tell about yourself. Each limitation you accept becomes a wall in your path. Each empowering belief becomes a door to new possibilities. Ancient practice of identity. Alchemy. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and envision a quill of pure light materializing in your hand. Feel its warmth and power. Now see before you the old story, the limiting label you've carried. With deliberate strokes, watch this quill dissolve those old words. In their place, write your new truth, beginning with "I am." Speak this new identity aloud 3 times, feeling it resonate through every cell of your being. Practice this each morning as the sun rises, when the veil between thought and manifestation is thinnest. Chapter 5. The Alchemy of Attention. High in a mountain village, a woman named Flora kept meticulous records of everything that troubled her. Each morning, she would note the cracks in her walls, the weeds in her garden, and the dwindling coins in her purse. With each passing day, her list grew longer, and mysteriously, so did her troubles. What you focus upon becomes your reality. This is not mere philosophy. It is the operating principle of the universe itself. Your attention acts as a divine magnet, drawing more of whatever it touches into your experience. When you direct your gaze toward lack, lack multiplies. When you turn your eyes toward abundance, abundance flows. Flora's neighbor Calvin witnessed this truth unfold in his own garden. While Flora lamented her withering plants, Calvin began each dawn by praising the smallest signs of growth. A single green shoot, a dewdrop on a leaf, the song of a morning bird. Within weeks, his garden flourished beyond measure, spilling over with blooms that seemed to defy the seasons themselves. The universe operates through a law of multiplication. Whatever seeds you plant with your attention will grow and multiply, whether those seeds are of joy or sorrow. Your awareness is the soil in which all experience takes root. This is why the ancient masters taught that gratitude is not merely a virtue, it is a force of creation itself. Calvin's experiment with praise revealed a universal truth. Joy compounds when acknowledged. Each moment of appreciation opens a channel through which more blessings can flow. The universe responds not to your words alone, but to the energy of your focused attention. You hold this same power within you now. Every observation you make is a request to the universe for more of the same. Your attention is your most precious resource. It is the currency with which you purchase your experiences in this world. Practice the multiplication of blessings. As the sun sets each day, find a quiet moment for this sacred practice. Recall 3 moments, no matter how small, that sparked gratitude in your heart. Perhaps it was the warmth of sunlight on your face, a kind word from a stranger, or the taste of your morning tea. For each blessing, speak these words aloud. My awareness increases their blessing. This simple ritual is not mere positive thinking. It is spiritual alchemy in action. By consciously directing your attention toward what brings you joy, you tell the universe, "This is what I choose to multiply in my life." Watch as your awareness becomes a lamp, illuminating more and more reasons for gratitude with each passing day. Chapter 6. The Mirror of Emotion. In a seaside town where waves whispered ancient wisdom to those who would listen, lived a woman named Rosie. Each morning she walked the shore, wondering why her relationships followed the same painful pattern, beginning with promise, ending in familiar heartache. Like clockwork, her trust would shatter against the same rocks of betrayal, leaving her to gather the pieces once more. Your emotional experiences are not random occurrences, but precise reflections designed to guide you toward deeper understanding. When a pattern persists, it carries a message waiting to be received. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, will repeat these emotional echoes until their teaching is fully embraced. Just as a mirror shows you your physical appearance, life's circumstances reflect your inner emotional landscape. Each feeling you experience acts as a tuning fork, resonating with matching frequencies in the external world. When you resist or deny an emotion, you inadvertently strengthen its pull, drawing more situations that will trigger its expression. Consider the story of Owen, a merchant whose fierce temper seemed to attract constant conflict. In every market he visited, someone would challenge him, leading to heated exchanges that left him drained. One day, while meditating in a temple garden, he realized his anger was actually passion wearing a mask of frustration. Instead of fighting this energy, he began channeling it into creative ventures. As his relationship with his emotions shifted, so did the world's response to him. The universe operates through perfect resonance. What appears as external conflict is always an invitation to inner harmony. Your emotions are not enemies to be conquered, but messengers bearing gifts of self-knowledge. When you embrace them with understanding, their transformative power is unleashed. Each feeling that persists in your life carries a sacred purpose. Rather than asking, "Why does this keep happening to me?" ask instead, "What is this emotion trying to teach me?" The answer lies not in changing others or circumstances, but in altering your relationship with the feeling itself. Ancient wisdom practice. As you prepare for sleep each night, create a sacred moment with your emotions. In your mind's eye, place any strong feeling before an imagined mirror. Rather than turning away, smile at its reflection with genuine appreciation. Speak these words with sincere gratitude. Thank you for showing me what I radiate. Let this acknowledgement be the key that unlocks transformation. Through this practice, what once seemed like emotional burdens become stepping stones to higher awareness. Chapter 7. The Invisible Contract. In a quiet village among rolling hills lived a woman named Lottie, who toiled endlessly yet remained in want. Though her hands were skilled and her spirit willing, prosperity seemed to slip through her fingers like water. "This is just my lot in life," she would say, unaware that these words were more than mere resignation. They were the echo of an ancient agreement she had made with herself. Every soul carries within it unspoken contracts, forged in moments of profound experience. These subtle agreements shape the boundaries of what you believe possible for your life. They whisper their terms in the language of limitation or liberation, and the universe, ever faithful to your deepest beliefs, honors these contracts with unwavering precision. As a child, Lottie had witnessed her family's financial hardships, absorbing the unspoken lesson that abundance must be earned through struggle. This belief became the invisible ink with which she wrote her soul's contract. I must work twice as hard for half as much. Each day, she unconsciously renewed this agreement through her thoughts and expectations. Yet the power to rewrite these contracts lies eternally within your grasp. Consider Clyde, a shopkeeper who discovered the weight of his own unspoken vows. For years, he had honored an inner agreement that money comes slowly and leaves quickly. Upon recognizing this self-imposed limitation, he took up the quill of consciousness and drafted new terms with the universe. I allow abundance to flow easily into my life. Within days, opportunities began appearing. A chance meeting led to a profitable partnership. An overlooked investment matured unexpectedly. The universe responded not to his external actions, but to the shifting of his internal permissions. You too hold this divine authority to amend the terms of your existence. Every belief that binds you was written by your own hand, and by that same hand it can be transformed. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment as twilight approaches. Close your eyes and envision before you a luminous parchment, its edges gleaming with golden light. Feel the weight of your spiritual authority as you approach it. With unwavering intention, see yourself signing your name beneath the words, "I now allow abundance effortlessly." Draw each letter with deliberate purpose, knowing that this signature carries the full power of your soul's authority. Take a deep breath and, as you exhale, watch as the contract dissolves into pure light, merging with the infinite field of possibility. Feel it being registered in the cosmic records, your new agreement now active in the universal law. Chapter 8. The Language of Light. Long ago, an ancient sage taught that the universe speaks not in words but in patterns. Before you lies a truth that has guided mystics and masters through the ages. Reality communicates through an intricate dance of symbols, numbers, and synchronicities. In the bustling streets of a timeless city, a woman named Ivy began noticing peculiar patterns emerging in her daily life. The same numbers would appear on clocks precisely when she contemplated important decisions. Streetlights would flicker as she passed beneath them while holding specific thoughts. At first, she dismissed these occurrences as mere coincidence, yet their persistence spoke of deeper meaning. The universe operates through a sophisticated language of signs and symbols, a celestial dialogue that transcends human speech. When you align with this sacred frequency, the world transforms into a living oracle, each moment pregnant with divine guidance. These signs are not random. They are the universe's way of acknowledging your thoughts and confirming your alignment with cosmic forces. This hidden language manifests differently for each soul. For some, it appears as recurring numbers, while others might notice particular animals, songs, or phrases repeatedly crossing their path. These synchronicities serve as bridges between your conscious desires and the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all of creation. A merchant named Ned discovered this truth when he began following these subtle nudges without resistance. Where once he would have questioned and analyzed each sign, he learned to move with their flow. A repeated number would guide him to make a call that led to an unexpected opportunity. A flickering light would prompt him to take a different route home, leading to a chance encounter that changed the course of his business. The key lies not in decoding these messages through logic, but in receiving them through the heart's intuitive wisdom. The soul speaks in images and feelings, not in grammatical structures. When you attune to this symbolic language, you enter a state of perpetual dialogue with the divine. Practice. As you move through your day, remain aware of recurring patterns, numbers, or signs that catch your attention. When you notice these divine whispers, pause briefly and silently acknowledge them by whispering, "I see you." Allow the meaning to unfold naturally through your feelings rather than mental analysis. This simple practice strengthens your connection to the universe's guidance system, transforming ordinary moments into sacred exchanges with infinite intelligence. Chapter 9. The Frequency of Forgiveness. In a quiet valley, where ancient wisdom still whispers through the trees, there lived a woman who carried her wounds like precious jewels. Each morning, Helen would wake to water her garden, but the flowers seemed to shrink from her touch, sensing the heaviness in her heart. Though abundance surrounded her, fertile soil, clear streams, and generous neighbors, nothing truly flourished in her presence. The weight she carried was not physical, but vibrational. Her grief, nursed over years, had become a frequency that repelled life's natural flow. Like a radio stuck between stations, her energy field crackled with old static, preventing the clear reception of new blessings. You see, forgiveness operates not through moral obligation, but through universal law. When you hold on to past hurts, you create interference in your energetic field. This distortion affects everything you attempt to manifest, like trying to paint on a canvas that's already saturated with dark oils. The universe responds not to your words or actions, but to your vibrational signature. When grief, resentment, or anger become habitual frequencies, they act as barriers to the higher vibrations of joy, abundance, and love. Your energy field becomes like a garden choked with weeds. Even the most powerful intentions struggle to take root. In a distant mountain monastery, a monk named Amos discovered this truth through different means. For decades, he had performed all the right practices, spoken all the right prayers, yet his spiritual gifts remained dormant. His intuition was muffled, his inner vision clouded. It wasn't until he released his hidden resentment toward his childhood mentor that everything changed. The moment Amos chose to release that frequency of blame, his entire energy field shifted. Suddenly, intuitive insights flowed freely. The universe began speaking to him through signs and synchronicities. His prayers manifested with surprising speed. The very air around him seemed to shimmer with new possibility. Your creative power operates through clear channels. When you hold on to old hurts, you're like a lighthouse whose glass is smudged with grime. The light still burns within, but its beam can't reach those who need it. Forgiveness is simply the act of cleaning that glass, allowing your true frequency to shine unobstructed. Remember, forgiveness is not about condoning actions or reconciling relationships. It is a solo journey of frequency refinement. When you forgive, you're not doing something for someone else. You're liberating your own creative force from the cage of past pain. The practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and place both hands over your heart. Visualize dark smoke, the frequency of old hurts gathered in your chest. Take 3 deep breaths, and on each exhale, picture this smoke leaving your body. As you release the final breath, speak these words with quiet authority. I set you free and rise lighter. Feel the immediate shift in your energy field as space clears for new beginnings. Chapter 10. The Gate of Imagination. Along the misty shores of an ancient harbor, Ada spent her days recording ships' cargo in dusty ledgers. Each vessel that passed carried exotic treasures, spices from distant lands, silks that shimmered like moonlight, and precious gems that held starlight in their depths. Yet Ada's true wealth lay not in what she counted, but in what she created in the sanctuary of her mind. Every evening, as the sun painted the waves in gold, she would close her eyes and step into her inner workshop. Here, in this sacred space, she crafted her future with the precision of a master artisan. She felt the smooth wood of her own shop's counter beneath her fingertips, inhaled the sweet aroma of success, and heard the joyful chatter of satisfied customers. In her imagination, she lived this reality so completely that her body responded with genuine excitement, her heart racing with anticipation. What Ada discovered was a truth as old as creation itself. Imagination is not mere fantasy, but the universe's own creative force flowing through you. When you engage your imagination with feeling and faith, you tap into the same power that shapes worlds. This principle revealed itself with startling clarity when Dean, a humble carpenter, began applying this ancient wisdom. Each night before sleep claimed him, he would inhabit the workshop of his dreams. He felt the grain of finest woods beneath his hands, heard the satisfied murmurs of clients admiring his craft, and experienced the quiet pride of creating beauty from raw material. He held these visions not as distant hopes, but as present reality. Within months, his small corner of the marketplace transformed. Clients sought him out, speaking the very words he had rehearsed in his mind. His craftsmanship flourished, guided by the blueprint his imagination had detailed so carefully. What had seemed impossible became inevitable, for his inner vision had already established the frequency of success. The universe responds not to what you wish for, but to what you vibrate as real. Your imagination, when infused with feeling and persistent practice, becomes the mold into which universal energy flows. Like water taking the shape of its container, reality arranges itself according to your most deeply held images. Sacred practice. As you prepare for sleep each night, create a sacred moment of conscious creation. Lie quietly and allow your imagination to build your desired reality in vivid detail. Feel the textures of your success, the materials, the environments, the sensations that accompany your fulfilled desires. Breathe in the sense of your achieved goals, hear the sounds of your manifested dreams, and most importantly, feel the emotions of your realized vision. Let these feelings be so real that your body responds with genuine joy. Maintain this living picture as you drift into sleep, allowing your subconscious mind to work through the night, aligning energy with intention. This is not mere visualization. It is conscious participation in the universe's creative process. Part 2. The Mastery of Energy. Chapter 11. The Field Remembers. In a quiet village among rolling hills, Mabel tended her garden each morning, planting the same flowers in the same patterns, year after year. Though she yearned for change, her life moved in familiar circles, like a wheel trapped in its own groove. Each attempt at transformation seemed to fade back into old patterns, as if her past held an invisible tether to her present. The universe speaks through patterns, and your experiences are not random occurrences but expressions of stored energetic memories. These memories reside not just in your mind, but in the very fabric of your being, in your cells, your posture, your unconscious gestures. They broadcast a constant signal to the universe, attracting circumstances that match their frequency. You might wonder why certain situations keep repeating in your life, why relationships follow familiar scripts, or why abundance seems to flow freely in some areas while staying stubbornly blocked in others. The answer lies in the energetic imprints you carry. These imprints act as molds, shaping your reality according to their form until you consciously choose to reshape them. Wade, a merchant who had lost his fortune, carried the weight of failure in his shoulders for years. Each morning, he would wake with the same heavy sensation, his body remembering and recreating his loss. But one dawn, as he watched the sun transform the darkness into light, understanding dawned within him as well. He began to see how his past had prepared him, taught him, strengthened him. With each breath, he reframed his memories, not as wounds to be carried, but as wisdom to be treasured. As Wade's perception shifted, something remarkable occurred. His shoulders straightened, his steps lightened, and opportunities began appearing as if by magic. Yet this was no magic. It was the natural result of energetic transformation. By changing the meaning he assigned to his past, he altered the frequency he broadcasted to the universe. Your memories are not fixed stories written in stone. They are energy waiting to be reshaped by your conscious awareness. Every experience you've ever had holds a gift of wisdom, but this gift often remains wrapped in the packaging of old pain or fear until you choose to unwrap it differently. The universe responds not to the events of your past, but to the energy you still carry from them. When you redefine these energetic imprints, you literally rewrite your relationship with the universe. This is not about denying what happened, but about choosing what it means and therefore what it creates in your present moment. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and bring to mind a past event that still holds emotional charge. See it as a scene floating before you, encased in a bubble of light. As you watch, allow the scene to slowly dissolve into pure golden light, leaving behind only its essential wisdom. Speak these words with quiet authority. Only wisdom remains. Feel the release of old energy and the renewal of your creative power. Let your body relax into this new lightness of being. Practice this whenever you feel the pull of old patterns, transforming memory into momentum for your highest good. Chapter 12. The Sacred Yes. A merchant named Nora sat at her desk each morning, surrounded by spreadsheets and calculations. Though her business provided comfort, a subtle emptiness lingered. Time and again, gentle nudges would arise within her, inspirations to explore new directions, to connect with certain people, to take unexpected paths. Yet each time, her rational mind would dismiss these whispers, labeling them as impractical fantasies. As days passed, opportunities that once sparkled with promise began to dim. Invitations decreased, chance meetings grew rare, and her once thriving business plateaued into mundane routine. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, was responding to her pattern of dismissing its guidance. Within you exists an ancient knowing that transcends logic and reason. This intuitive compass points true north, guiding you toward your highest path even when that path seems to defy conventional wisdom. The universe speaks first in the language of sensation, a warm expansion in your chest, a lightness in your being, an inexplicable draw toward certain choices. When Glenn, a skilled craftsman, felt an unexpected urge to visit a small cafe he'd never noticed before, something within him resonated. Instead of questioning or analyzing, he simply honored that gentle inner tingle. There, through a series of seemingly random conversations, he discovered his true calling, teaching his craft to troubled youth. That single moment of trusting his intuition opened doors he never knew existed. Your intuition is the universe's direct line of communication with you. It arrives as the first flash of knowing before your mind begins its familiar dance of doubt. This initial response, this pristine moment of clarity, holds the seed of miracles. Yet how often do you override this wisdom with practical considerations, past experiences, or others' opinions? The law of attraction responds not to your thoughts alone, but to the alignment between your actions and your inner knowing. When you honor these subtle yes sensations, you signal to the universe your readiness to receive its guidance. Each time you act on intuitive wisdom, you strengthen this divine connection, creating a momentum that attracts more synchronicities, more opportunities, more grace. The art lies not in forcing yourself to trust, but in recognizing that you already know. Your soul speaks in the language of gentle certainty, not the loud declarations of the ego, but the quiet confidence of truth. When you feel that inner warmth, that subtle excitement about a possibility, you're receiving a direct transmission from Source itself. Sacred practice. Begin this day with a renewed commitment to your inner wisdom. When you feel that warm sensation of rightness about a possibility or opportunity, pause. Place your hand over your heart and whisper yes with quiet conviction. Then, crucially, take one concrete action within the next 24 hours that honors this guidance. This might be making a phone call, sending a message, or simply taking a step in a new direction. Remember, momentum magnetizes grace. Each act of trust builds upon the last, creating a symphony of synchronicity in your life. Chapter 13. The Magnetic Word. In the tranquil valley where ancient olive groves whispered their secrets, Betty tended her garden each morning. The words flowed from her lips as naturally as breathing. "I'll never get ahead. Things always go wrong. I'm not good enough for that." These utterances, though seemingly harmless, carried vibrations that rippled through the fabric of existence itself. The universe responds not to what you wish for, but to the frequency you maintain. Every word spoken is a note in the symphony of creation, each phrase a command to the invisible forces that shape reality. Your language is not mere communication. It is the very architecture of your experience. Through countless generations, masters have guarded this truth. The spoken word holds power beyond mortal understanding. When you declare, "I can't," you encode that limitation into the quantum field itself. When you whisper, "It's impossible," you command the universe to prove your declaration true. Henry, a humble scribe, discovered this wisdom through necessity rather than design. For years, his manuscripts were rejected, each "I can't write well enough" cementing his struggle. Until one day, watching the sunrise, he shifted 3 simple words: "I can become." The transformation was subtle at first, a lightness in his chest, a clarity in his thoughts. With each repetition, the new vibration gained strength. Within weeks, his words began to flow differently, not because he had gained new skills, but because he had altered the frequency of his own existence. His manuscripts found homes, his readers multiplied, his mastery expanded, all following the path carved by those 3 powerful words. This ancient truth beckons you now. Your words are spells. Your phrases are prophecies. Each utterance ripples through the quantum field, attracting experiences that match its vibration. The power to reshape your reality lies in the simple act of conscious speech. Sacred practice. Choose one phrase that dims your light, one habitual utterance that holds you back. Write it down, then craft its empowered opposite. If you say, "I never have enough time," transform it to, "I am the master of my time." Speak your new declaration 3 times each day, at sunrise, noon, and sunset. Let its vibration sink into your cells until it becomes your natural frequency. The universe awaits your new command. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Weighted Crown. In a village among ancient hills, a gifted weaver named Sadie created tapestries of such beauty that travelers journeyed from distant lands just to glimpse her work. Yet when praise flowed her way, she would shrink into herself, deflecting compliments and diminishing her talents. "It's nothing special," she would murmur, believing her humility served the greater good. What you perceive as humility often masks a deeper fear, the fear of fully embodying your divine radiance. The universe did not bestow gifts upon you to keep them hidden. Your light, when dimmed, denies others the inspiration they might have found in your glow. True humility lies not in making yourself smaller, but in accepting the magnitude of your being while remaining in service to the highest good. Each soul carries a unique frequency, a singular note in the cosmic symphony. When you diminish your vibration, you create disharmony in the universal orchestration. Your greatness is not vanity, It is your sacred responsibility. Consider how Arlo, the village musician, transformed through this understanding. For years, he played only in shadows, convinced that claiming his talent would mark him as prideful. His melodies, though beautiful, carried an undertone of apology. Then came the night when an elder shared the ancient wisdom. Your gift honors its source when offered in full measure. That evening, Arlo stood in the village square and played with unprecedented power. His music, finally unleashed, moved through the crowd like liquid light. In accepting his brilliance, he gave others permission to embrace their own. This truth echoes through the ages. False modesty serves neither you nor the world. When you deny your light, you reject the very essence of creation flowing through you. The universe seeks expression through your unique being. Your crown, your divine birthright, was forged in celestial fires. It sits perfectly upon your head, neither too heavy nor too light. Sacred practice. Stand before your mirror in the golden light of morning or the silver glow of evening. Gaze into your own eyes with gentle attention. Speak aloud one genuine gift you bring to the world. Let your voice carry strength and certainty. I honor my ability to speak your truth. Feel the energy shift as you claim your power without apology. This recognition creates ripples in the universal field, amplifying your natural frequency and drawing to you experiences that match your authentic vibration. Chapter 15. The Radiant Exchange. In a bustling marketplace, Belle stood before her herbal remedies stall, silently struggling with her work. Though skilled in crafting healing blends, she resisted seeking guidance from elder herbalists, fearing she would burden them. Each day, she watched potential mentors pass by, her questions locked behind closed lips, her growth stunted by pride disguised as self-reliance. The flow of abundance follows eternal laws, as unchanging as the cycle of breath. Just as your lungs must both inhale and exhale to sustain life, your spirit must both give and receive to maintain its vitality. You cannot breathe in forever, nor can you exhale indefinitely. This same principle governs all energy exchanges in the universe. When you resist receiving, you create a blockage in the natural circulation of energy. Your reluctance to accept help, support, or abundance stems not from virtue, but from misalignment with universal law. The universe knows no pride, no shame in its constant exchange of energy between sun and earth, river and sea, flower and bee. Consider Clay, a master craftsman who once believed accepting assistance diminished his worth. For years he toiled alone, his creations limited by his isolation. Then one day, exhausted and humbled, he accepted an apprentice's suggestion for improving his technique. That simple act of receiving opened a floodgate. His work evolved rapidly, his prosperity multiplied, and his joy in creation deepened. By allowing others to contribute to his journey, he accelerated his own mastery. This paradox lies at the heart of manifestation. The more gracefully you receive, the more abundantly you can give. When you accept a gift, compliment, or helping hand with genuine gratitude, you complete an energetic circuit. This completion magnifies the blessing for both giver and receiver, creating a spiral of increasing abundance. Your resistance to receiving often masks a deeper belief in unworthiness. Yet the universe knows no such limitation. Like a flower turning to face the sun, your natural state is one of open receptivity to life's nourishment. When you align with this truth, manifestation accelerates effortlessly. The ancient practice. Each day, accept one compliment fully and give one sincerely. Feel energy circulate like sunlight. Let each exchange remind you that you participate in the endless dance of giving and receiving that sustains all creation. Chapter 16. The Golden Pause. In the heart of a thriving city, a merchant named Daisy raced through life as if chased by time itself. Each morning she hastily made decisions about trades and investments, consulting neither wisdom nor intuition. Her choices, born from urgency rather than clarity, often led to missed opportunities and costly mistakes. Within you dwells an infinite wisdom that speaks through stillness. When you rush past its gentle whispers, you move against the natural current of creation. The universe operates not through haste, but through perfect timing. Each flower blooms precisely when ready. Each tide turns at its appointed hour. Your power to manifest lies not in the speed of action, but in the depth of alignment from which that action springs. Every choice carries a vibration, and that vibration ripples outward, attracting circumstances of matching frequency. When decisions emerge from scattered energy, they birth scattered results. But when choices arise from centered stillness, they carry the full force of universal backing. Consider how a master archer draws their bow. The power lies not in the release, but in the moment of perfect stillness before. In that sacred pause, archer and arrow become one with their target. So too must you become one with your intentions before launching them into manifestation. Wilbur, a craftsman renowned for his exquisite timepieces, discovered this truth through necessity. Where once he rushed to complete orders, making costly errors, he learned to pause before touching his tools. In that brief stillness, solutions would arise unbidden, more elegant designs, more efficient methods. His work, now born from aligned moments, attracted admirers and opportunities beyond his previous imaginings. Your relationship with time itself transforms when you honor the sacred pause. What seems like delay often serves as divine preparation. In stillness, you attune to the perfect timing of the universe, allowing your actions to flow in harmony with larger currents of creation. Ancient wisdom teaches that between stimulus and response lies a space of infinite potential. In that space dwells your power to choose, to align, to manifest. When you learn to rest in that space, even briefly, you access the universe's perfect orchestration. Practice. Before any major action, take one long conscious breath, sensing inner clarity as approval signal. Feel the subtle difference between forced action and inspired movement. Let your breath bridge the gap between thought and manifestation, ensuring each step forward carries the full power of aligned intention. Chapter 17. The Cosmic Mirror Ball. In the bustling marketplace of an ancient city, Lucy, a merchant of fine silks, developed a habit of scrutinizing her competitors. With each passing day she found fault in their wares, whispering criticisms about inferior threads and flawed patterns. Yet, as seasons turned, she discovered an unsettling pattern. Every flaw she pointed out in others mysteriously appeared in her own goods. The universe operates as an infinite mirror, reflecting back the energy you project. When you cast judgment into the world, You are not merely observing reality, you are programming it. Your thoughts and words carry vibrational signatures that echo through the fabric of existence, returning to their source with mathematical precision. This mirror-like quality of existence serves not as punishment, but as divine instruction. Every experience you encounter reflects some aspect of your consciousness, offering opportunities for deeper understanding and growth. When you judge another's prosperity, you unconsciously restrict your own. When you criticize another's creativity, you dim your own light. The law of return operates with unwavering accuracy. It knows no favorites and holds no grudges. It simply delivers experiences that match the frequency of your projected energy. Understanding this principle transforms how you perceive and interact with your world. Frank, a humble craftsman, grasped this truth through an unexpected turn of events. Where once he viewed fellow artisans as threats to his livelihood, he began a radical experiment. Each morning he blessed his competitors' workshops, genuinely wishing for their success. He celebrated their achievements as if they were his own. Within weeks, his own work began to shine with unprecedented brilliance. Customers remarked on the special quality his pieces now possessed. Orders increased, and rather than stealing business from others, his success seemed to lift the entire market. His world transformed not through outer action, but through inner alchemy. This principle extends beyond business competition into every facet of life. Each judgment you hold creates a corresponding limitation in your experience. Each blessing you offer opens new channels of abundance. The world you see is not separate from you. It is you, reflected back in countless forms. Through conscious attention to your projections, you can reshape your entire field of experience. Every person you encounter becomes a mirror. Every situation an opportunity to refine your inner vibration. As you master this understanding, you begin to see that all outer conditions are simply echoes of inner states. Practice. Imagine surrounding every person in gentle light and utter mentally, "You and I are one in freedom." This practice dissolves the illusion of separation and aligns you with the unity consciousness that underlies all manifestation. Chapter 18. The Bridge of Belief. The merchant's tale unveils a truth as old as creation itself. The world around you faithfully mirrors your inner landscape. Every judgment cast outward plants a seed that grows in your own garden. Yet this principle extends far beyond mere reflection of criticism. In a valley between ancient mountains, Peggy tended her garden with growing frustration. Each morning, she would inspect her plants, sighing heavily at their slow growth. "Why won't you grow faster?" she would demand, her impatience casting shadows over her seedlings. The more she focused on what wasn't manifesting, the more stuck in stasis everything seemed to become. The universe responds not to demands, but to the feeling tone of absolute knowing. When you plant a seed, you don't stand over it questioning whether it knows how to become a flower. You trust in the invisible process of growth, knowing that natural law ensures its transformation. This truth became clear through Vernon, a master potter whose creations were sought after throughout many lands. When asked about his secret, he revealed that he never began shaping the clay until he could feel the finished vessel in his hands. "I hold it complete in my mind," he would say, until my hands simply reveal what already exists. Each day, Vernon would sit at his wheel, eyes half closed, feeling the smooth curves and perfect balance of his creation before his fingers touched the clay. He understood that matter follows the blueprint of belief, and that unwavering certainty was the bridge across which physical form would walk. As days passed, his certainty never wavered, not when the clay seemed unresponsive, not when others doubted. He simply maintained his inner knowing, allowing the physical world time to align with his vision. Without fail, his creations would emerge exactly as he had felt them to be. The material world operates on this principle of energetic alignment. Your role is not to force manifestation, but to maintain such clear inner certainty that physical reality has no choice but to conform. Like a master potter, you must feel the reality of your desire until it becomes more real than its absence. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment at the same time each day. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Now step fully into the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. Touch it, smell it, hear it. Make it more real than your current circumstances. Speak these words with the authority of knowing. This is mine now, as naturally as breath. Hold this feeling for several minutes, then release it with complete trust. Let your certainty be stronger than any evidence to the contrary. Remember, the physical world must ultimately bow to unwavering belief. Your task is not to make it happen, but to remain steadfast in the knowing that it already has. Chapter 19. The Compass of Joy. In a bustling marketplace, Minnie meticulously checked items off her manifestation list, her brow furrowed in concentration. Each goal achieved felt hollow, lacking the sweetness she thought success would bring. Day after day, she pushed herself harder, believing that if she just worked more intensely, happiness would surely follow. The ancient wisdom speaks of a forgotten truth. Joy is not the reward at the end of the path. It is the compass that guides you along it. Your heart's natural state of delight serves as an inner beacon, showing you where abundance flows most freely. When you approach manifestation as a burden, you create resistance in the very fabric of creation. The universe responds not to effort, but to frequency. Joy is the highest frequency you can emit, for it aligns perfectly with the natural state of source energy. Consider the sage's words. The flower does not strain to bloom. It simply turns toward the sun and opens in delight. In the quieter part of town, Reuben had also lost his way chasing achievements. His art gallery, once a source of passion, had become a list of tasks that drained his spirit. One morning, something shifted. Instead of forcing himself through his usual rigid routine, he allowed himself to play with the painting's arrangements, humming as he moved pieces to where they felt right. That very afternoon, a collector walked in and purchased 3 pieces. The next day brought more visitors than ever before. As Reuben continued to follow his joy, success flowed naturally, not because he had worked harder, but because he had aligned with the frequency of creation itself. The universe speaks in the language of feeling. When you infuse your desires with genuine joy, you create a magnetic resonance that attracts similar experiences. This is not about forcing false positivity, but about reconnecting with the natural delight of being alive. Ancient practice. Close your eyes and recall your deepest desire. Now, instead of straining toward it, allow yourself to play with it. Hum your favorite melody, sway gently, or let out a genuine laugh. Feel how this shifts the energy of your visualization from effort to enjoyment. Hold this state for several minutes, knowing that your joy is actually the bridge your manifestations walk across. This practice, when repeated daily, transforms manifestation from work into play, the way it was always meant to be. Remember, the universe doesn't require your strain, it invites your delight. Let joy be your guide, and watch as life responds with increasing grace and ease. Chapter 20. The Echo of Faith. A young woman named Opal toiled endlessly at her craft, creating beautiful tapestries that seemed to capture light itself within their threads. Despite her exquisite work, recognition and success appeared to dance just beyond her reach. Each morning she would rise before dawn, weave until her fingers ached, yet the path to her dreams remained mysteriously veiled. As seasons turned, Opal noticed something peculiar. Her most magnificent pieces emerged not from her moments of striving, but from those rare instances when she worked in peaceful certainty. The universe whispers this truth. Persistence dwells not in the physical realm of endless doing, but in the energetic realm of unwavering being. Through this ancient wisdom, you discover that faith is not a passive waiting game, but an active force, a steady signal broadcasted into the cosmic field. Like a lighthouse whose beam never falters, your sustained belief illuminates the path for manifestation to follow. When you grasp this truth, you understand why some desires manifest swiftly, while others appear to hesitate. The difference lies not in your actions, but in the consistency of your energetic broadcast. Consider the tale of Boyd, a humble gardener who planted seeds in barren soil. While others doubted and abandoned their gardens, Boyd maintained an unshakable knowing that his garden would flourish. He tended the soil not from anxiety but from love, holding steady in his vision even when no sprouts were visible. When the first green shoots emerged weeks later than expected, they came with such vigor that his garden became known as the most abundant in the valley. The key lies not in the physical persistence of checking for sprouts every hour, but in maintaining the vibration of absolute certainty that they are growing perfectly according to divine timing. Your role is to hold the frequency of completion, while the universe orchestrates the perfect unfolding of events. The garden of manifestation flourishes not through force, but through faith. Each night as you lay your head to rest, simply affirm, "I rest while my faith works perfectly in my behalf." Let your dreams be cradled in this knowing as you drift into sleep, for in this state of peaceful certainty, you allow the universe to work its magic unimpeded by doubt or resistance. Practice. Before sleep each night, lie quietly and feel the deep peace of knowing your desires are already fulfilled. With gentle conviction, speak these words, "I rest while my faith works perfectly in my behalf." Allow yourself to drift into slumber wrapped in this blanket of absolute certainty. Part 3. The Embodiment of Divine Power. Chapter 21. The Infinite Current. In a sunlit studio, Vera stood before her canvas, brush hovering uncertainly. For years, she had painted what she thought others wanted to see, confining her creativity to safe, marketable pieces. Yet lately, an unfamiliar energy stirred within her. Not the usual creative impulse, but something vaster, more profound. When you first sense the universal current flowing through you, it may feel overwhelming. Like Vera, you might question this expanded awareness. this sensation of being a vessel for something greater than yourself. Yet, this is the natural state of being. You were never meant to operate as an isolated unit, but as a conscious channel for infinite intelligence. The universe flows through all things, seeking expression through willing vessels. Your personal energy field is meant to merge with this greater current, allowing divine inspiration to move through you unimpeded. When you release the need to control every outcome, to direct every movement, you open yourself to become a conduit for universal wisdom. Consider Gus, a sculptor who struggled for years to force his vision into form. His works were technically perfect, but somehow lifeless until the day he surrendered his rigid control. In that moment of letting go, something shifted. His hands began moving with a wisdom beyond his conscious mind, and the figures that emerged carried an energy that touched viewers deeply, catalyzing healing and transformation in those who beheld them. This is the paradox of power. In surrendering personal will to universal flow, you access greater creative force than you could ever generate alone. Your energy field naturally updates and expands when you allow it to merge with the infinite current of creation. Like a river joining the ocean, you do not lose yourself. You become more fully who you are meant to be. The resistance you feel to this merger is natural, born of the ego's fear of dissolution. Yet what dissolves is only the illusion of separation. As you open yourself to universal flow, your unique gifts are not diminished, but magnified. Your personal expression becomes a perfectly tuned instrument through which the symphony of creation plays. Ancient wisdom teaches that power flows not from the assertion of individual will, but from alignment with divine current. When you sense this energy moving through you, resist the urge to seize or direct it. Instead, become the hollow reed through which celestial music flows. Practice. Find a quiet moment and sit with spine straight. Visualize pure light streaming down through your crown chakra, filling your entire being and grounding through your feet into earth. As this divine current flows through you, softly speak these words. Divine current, express through me. Allow yourself to be a clear channel for universal wisdom and power. Chapter 22. The Silent Commander. Along a bustling market street, Hattie rushed from stall to stall, her voice rising above the crowd as she haggled and bargained. Though skilled in commerce, she noticed her aggressive approach often yielded diminishing returns. The merchant seemed to withdraw, offering less favorable terms with each forceful demand. You may recognize yourself in Hattie's story, believing that power must announce itself loudly to be effective. Yet true power, like the force that holds planets in orbit, operates in profound silence. The universe itself works through an unspoken authority, requiring no validation or declaration of its strength. Within you lies this same quiet power. It does not need to assert itself through raised voices or forceful demands. Instead, it emanates naturally when you align with the silent confidence of your inner knowing. This is not weakness masquerading as restraint. It is the ultimate expression of trust in your connection to universal law. Watch how this truth unveiled itself to Roy, a middle manager who once believed advancement required constant self-promotion. In meetings, he would speak the loudest, interrupt others, and push his ideas forward with aggressive determination. Yet success remained elusive until he discovered the magnetic power of serene presence. Roy began practicing deliberate calm, allowing his ideas to flow from a place of quiet certainty rather than anxious assertion. He stopped fighting for attention and instead cultivated an unshakable inner knowing. Within months, his influence grew naturally. His colleagues sought his counsel, his suggestions carried more weight, and promotions followed, not because he demanded them, but because his composed confidence naturally drew recognition. The universe responds not to volume, but to vibration. When you operate from genuine inner authority, you need not announce your power. It announces itself. This is the paradox that transforms mere position into true leadership. The less you strain to prove your worth, the more naturally others recognize it. Your presence becomes magnetic when you embody the calm certainty of one who understands their connection to infinite intelligence. Like a deep river that moves silently, yet carries immense power, your influence grows most potent when it flows from stillness rather than struggle. Practice. Before any interaction where you wish to exercise influence, pause to center your breath. Allow your energy to settle into calm certainty as you silently affirm, "Calm is my command." Feel the quiet authority that naturally emerges when you align with the silent power of the universe. Chapter 23. The Dance of Contrast. In a small coastal village there lived a woman named Mabeline who owned a modest flower shop. Each morning brought unexpected challenges, wilted blooms, late deliveries, or canceled orders. Yet where others saw misfortune, Mabeline discovered a hidden wisdom. With each withered rose, she gained clarity about proper storage. Through every delayed shipment, she refined her timing preferences. This truth whispers through the ages. What appears as obstacle serves as pointer. The universe speaks through contrast, revealing with perfect precision what you truly desire. When you resist unwanted circumstances, you miss their gift of clarity. But when you welcome them as teachers, they illuminate your path with remarkable accuracy. Consider how a sculptor knows precisely where to chisel by first seeing what doesn't belong. Similarly, life's contrasts sharpen your creative focus. Each unwanted experience carries within it the seed of heightened awareness about what you do want. This is not mere positive thinking, it is practical alchemy, transforming resistance into rocket fuel for manifestation. Theo, a painter, discovered this principle when his art gallery rejected his work. Instead of dwelling in disappointment, he thanked the experience for showing him exactly what his next creation needed. With each no, his vision grew clearer. His paintings evolved not through struggle, but through embracing contrast as his guide. Within months, 3 prestigious galleries competed to showcase his transformed work. The law of attraction responds not to your words, but to your vibration. When you fight against what is, you remain stuck in the frequency of what you don't want. But when you welcome contrast as a clarifying force, you instantly shift into the vibration of solution and growth. This subtle shift makes all the difference in the speed and precision of manifestation. Your power lies not in avoiding unwanted circumstances, but in using them as stepping stones to greater clarity. Every experience, wanted or unwanted, serves your expansion. The universe wastes nothing in its mission to help you define and attract your desires with ever-increasing precision. The ancient practice of contrast. Alchemy. Whenever irritation arises, pause and speak these words. Thank you. Now I know what I prefer. Feel how this simple acknowledgement instantly shifts your energy from resistance to receptivity. In this state of allowance, solutions flow naturally and manifestation accelerates. Chapter 24. The Geometry of Gratitude. In times forgotten, wise ones understood that discomfort serves as nature's compass. What you resist persists not to torment, but to teach. Within each unwanted experience lies a sacred message pointing toward your truest desires. When you find yourself facing circumstances that spark resistance, know that you stand at the threshold of powerful clarity. These moments of contrast serve as divine architects, sketching the blueprint of your deepest preferences with remarkable precision. Through contrast, the universe reveals your path. Each no crystallizes a stronger yes. Each obstacle illuminates the exact shape of your desired reality. This is not mere philosophical comfort. It is universal law in motion. Consider the merchant who loses his entire inventory in a storm. In that moment of loss, he gains perfect clarity about his true passion for his craft. The storm has not destroyed his dream, it has refined it. Through this contrast, he discovers exactly how to rebuild stronger, wiser, and more aligned with his vision. The greatest masters throughout time embraced contrast as their teacher. They understood that resistance is not the enemy, but the sculptor's chisel, revealing the masterpiece within. When you shift your perception from obstacle to opportunity, every unwanted circumstance becomes a stepping stone toward greater alignment. Your response to contrast determines its power in your life. When you resist resistance itself, you create a cycle of frustration. But when you welcome contrast as a clarifying force, it serves as your most precise guide toward manifestation. Look upon your current challenges with new eyes. Each one points exactly toward what you prefer. Let them refine your focus, sharpen your intention, and illuminate your path. The universe speaks through contrast, teaching you the exact frequency of your desired reality. Practice for embracing contrast. When resistance arises, pause and ask, what does this moment reveal about my true desire? Feel how each challenge carries within it the seed of greater clarity. Then state simply, thank you for showing me what I prefer. Watch as contrast transforms from obstacle to ally, guiding you toward perfect alignment. This ancient wisdom echoes through time. Embrace the dance of contrast, for within its rhythm lies the key to masterful manifestation. Chapter 25. The Living Prayer. In a humble cottage at the edge of a vast meadow lived Birdie, a soul who spent countless hours on her knees in earnest supplication. Night after night she would plead with the heavens, her words carrying the weight of desperation. Please, please, grant my wishes, she would whisper into the darkness, tears streaming down her face. One dawn, as golden light filtered through her window, an ancient wisdom stirred within her heart. In that moment of stillness, she realized that her very breath was evidence of divine presence. The universe had never been distant. It was the very substance of her being. The truth reveals itself with elegant simplicity. Prayer is not a bridge to cross, but a recognition of what already exists. When you understand this principle, You transform from a beggar at the gates to a conscious co-creator of reality. Your words shift from, "Please give me," to, "I thank you for what is." Walter, a merchant who had lost his way, discovered this truth through an unexpected encounter. For years, he approached life as a series of desperate negotiations with fate. Then one morning, standing before his mirror, he spoke different words. "I am abundance itself. In me flows the infinite stream of prosperity." The change was instantaneous, not in his circumstances, but in his vibration. Within hours, long-delayed payments arrived, and new opportunities emerged effortlessly. The power lies not in asking, but in acknowledging. When you declare, "I am," instead of "I want," you align with the frequency of fulfillment. This is not positive thinking, it is vibrational accuracy. The universe responds not to what you request, but to what you recognize as true. Your words carry creative force not through volume or repetition, but through their resonance with truth. When you speak from this place of knowing, you're not attempting to change reality. You're harmonizing with what already exists in the quantum field of infinite possibility. Ancient practice. As the first light touches your face each morning, stand in quiet dignity and speak these words. "All that I seek is already mine in vibration. I witness its arrival now." Feel the truth of this declaration in every cell of your being. This is not an exercise in imagination. It is a moment of cosmic recognition. Chapter 26. The Garden of Allowing. In a bustling marketplace, Tilly stood before her merchant stall, meticulously arranging and rearranging her wares. With furrowed brow, she counted inventory thrice daily, planned elaborate marketing schemes, and exhausted herself trying to control every aspect of her business. Yet, despite her relentless efforts, prosperity remained elusive, always dancing just beyond her grasp. Each evening, she would return home with shoulders heavy from the weight of worry, wondering why her tireless labor bore such meager fruit. The more she pushed, planned, and manipulated, the more life seemed to resist her will. The universe speaks through contrast, and in your moments of greatest struggle often lies the seed of deepest wisdom. Like Tilly, you may find yourself trapped in the illusion that power comes through force. Yet true power flows not from controlling life, but from aligning with it. Consider the mighty oak that grows not by forcing its branches skyward, but by surrendering to the natural rhythm of seasons. It neither struggles nor strains. It simply allows the life force to flow through it, expressing its nature with perfect trust. Russell, a fellow merchant, discovered this truth through necessity rather than choice. After falling ill, he could no longer maintain his usual iron grip on his business affairs. To his astonishment, when he loosened his hold, unexpected opportunities emerged. Customers appeared at precisely the right moments. Beneficial partnerships formed effortlessly. His profits doubled, then tripled, all while he exerted less effort than ever before. This is the paradox of allowing. What you cease to clutch comes to you freely. The universe operates through infinite intelligence, orchestrating countless details beyond your conscious awareness. When you release your need to control every aspect, you open yourself to this greater wisdom. Allowing is not passive resignation, but active trust. It is the recognition that you are part of a vast intelligent system that knows the perfect path to your desires. Your role is not to figure out every step, but to maintain the vibration of your intention, while remaining open to unexpected ways it might manifest. The practice. Find a quiet moment each morning. Sit comfortably and extend your hands palms up before you. Feel the tension dissolve from your fingers as you visualize releasing all need to control outcomes. Then, with gentle breath, whisper these words: I release the how, I receive the wow. Let this be your reminder that surrender is not weakness. It is your greatest power. Chapter 27. The Fire of Purpose. In a small mountain village, a young weaver named Nell spent her days crafting beautiful textiles, yet felt an emptiness that no amount of skill could fill. Each morning she would gaze at her finished works with hollow eyes, questioning if this was all life held for her. Though her hands created beauty, her heart yearned for something more, a deeper meaning that eluded her grasp. The art of creation flows not from duty but from joy. When you allow yourself to follow the subtle stirrings of excitement within your heart, you tap into the universe's guidance system. Every moment of genuine enthusiasm is a cosmic signpost pointing toward your highest path of service. Your purpose does not arrive like a bolt of lightning. It unfolds naturally through moments that light you up from within. These sparks of joy are not random. They are the universe's way of guiding you toward your unique contribution. When you trust these inner promptings, you align with an energy that sustains itself. Nell discovered this truth when she began teaching children to weave. Their delight in learning awakened something in her she had forgotten, pure joy in sharing her gift. She noticed that on days she taught, her own weaving flowed with renewed vigor. The more she followed this feeling, the more opportunities arose to serve her community through her craft. Like Nell, Grant was once trapped in the maze of should. As a merchant, he dutifully followed his family's traditional business practices until he noticed how his eyes lit up when helping others start their own ventures. When he dared to follow this excitement, offering guidance to aspiring entrepreneurs, his own business flourished effortlessly. His enthusiasm created a ripple effect of prosperity throughout the village. The universe speaks through the language of joy. Your moments of greatest aliveness are not distractions from your purpose. They are your purpose revealing itself. When you align with what brings you genuine excitement, you naturally become a channel for service. Your energy becomes self-renewing because you are in harmony with your soul's calling. Ancient activation practice. Each evening as the sun sets, find a quiet moment to reflect. Place your hand over your heart and ask yourself, what brought me alive today? What moments made my soul dance? Let these feelings guide your next day's journey. This is not mere whimsy, it is attunement to divine direction. Those experiences that thrill your spirit are breadcrumbs leading to your highest service. Chapter 28. The Royal Frequency. In the bustling marketplace of an ancient city, a merchant named Cora spent her days selling exquisite silks. Though her wares were fit for royalty, she would often shrink into shadows, offering discounts before customers could haggle. Each evening, she counted meager earnings, wondering why prosperity seemed to evade her grasp. One dawn, as she arranged her fabrics, an old sage paused at her stall. Rather than examining the silks, he studied her posture. "Your merchandise speaks of excellence," he observed, "yet your energy whispers of unworthiness. The universe cannot override your own valuation." Through this encounter, a profound truth emerges. Your relationship with yourself sets the frequency of all external relationships. When you stand in your authentic worth, the universe must reflect that standing back to you. It is not pride, but divine recognition that transforms ordinary moments into demonstrations of grace. In the merchant district across town, Edwin faced similar challenges until he discovered this sacred principle. Where once he rushed to please difficult customers, he began carrying himself with quiet dignity. He neither defended nor explained. He simply embodied his innate worth. Soon, those who previously demanded discounts began treating his shop as a sanctuary of fair exchange. The law of attraction responds not to what you want, but to what you are being. When you move through life from a place of inner nobility, external circumstances naturally align with that frequency. This is not about superiority, but about honoring the divine light within you. Your physical presence broadcasts your deepest beliefs about yourself. The way you stand, speak, and move either announces, "I am worthy," or whispers, "I am small." The universe, ever attentive to your energetic declaration, orchestrates experiences that match your self-concept. Sacred practice. As you move through your day, imagine a soft golden crown hovering just above your head. Walk with shoulders naturally relaxed and head held high, internally repeating, "I move as divine royalty." Allow this practice to remind you of your inherent worthiness, not as ego's assertion, but as soul's recognition. This simple shift in physical carriage creates ripples through the entire field of your experience, elevating every interaction to its highest potential. Chapter 29. The Circle of Creation. A village weaver named Effie noticed a peculiar pattern in her craft. When she completed each tapestry with gratitude, new commissions would arrive before her loom grew cold. Yet when she rushed to the next project without pause for appreciation, weeks would pass without work. Through her observation, an ancient truth revealed itself. You stand at the heart of an infinite cycle of giving and receiving. Each blessing that flows into your life seeks acknowledgement before it multiplies. Like breath itself, manifestation moves in circles. Inhale of desire, exhale of gratitude. When you close each cycle with conscious appreciation, you open the channel for greater abundance to flow. Consider how a flower turns toward the sun in gratitude for its warmth, and in that very turning enables more light to reach its petals. Your recognition of blessings operates by the same divine law. Every thank you, uttered with genuine feeling, completes an energetic circuit, allowing new gifts to flow through the same channel. Gordon, a merchant who traded in precious stones, discovered this truth through his own journey. Though successful in his dealings, he noticed his prosperity came in sporadic waves rather than steady streams. Upon learning the law of completion, he began a practice of gratitude after each transaction. Before placing coins in his strongbox, he would hold them for a moment, acknowledging the exchange of value and blessing both buyer and seller. As he maintained this practice, something shifted in his business. No longer did he experience feast and famine cycles. Instead, a steady flow of opportunities appeared, each one building upon the last. His recognition had created a continuous current of prosperity. This teaching transcends mere politeness or social convention. When you consciously complete each cycle of receiving with gratitude, You align with the universe's natural rhythm of give and take. Like a wheel that must complete its full rotation to move forward, manifestation requires the full circuit of appreciation to generate momentum. Your gratitude serves as a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. It creates a magnetic field that attracts similar experiences, for energy flows where appreciation grows. Each thank you becomes a seed for future harvest. Sacred practice. After receiving any blessing, whether a material gain, an insight, or a moment of joy, pause to complete the circle. Place one hand on your heart and extend the other upward. Visualize a stream of golden light flowing from your heart, through your raised hand, and back to Source. Speak these words with feeling. I acknowledge this gift with gratitude, knowing it completes a perfect circle of giving and receiving. As I appreciate, so I create space for more blessings to flow. Feel the energy completing its circuit through you, knowing that in this completion lies the seed of your next manifestation. Chapter 30. The Diamond Within. In a modest cottage at the edge of a forgotten forest, Lula spent years seeking wisdom from distant teachers and ancient texts. Each morning, she would light sacred candles and perform elaborate rituals, hoping to attract divine power. Yet something felt incomplete, as though she were reaching for a light that forever danced just beyond her grasp. One ordinary dawn, as sunlight streamed through her window, Lula caught her reflection in a mirror. In that moment, time seemed to pause. The searching eyes that gazed back at her held a familiar radiance, one she had been chasing in every temple and teaching. The truth descended like a gentle rain. She had been seeking what she already was. The universe operates through recognition, not acquisition. What you perceive as spiritual growth is actually spiritual remembrance. The power you seek has never been separate from your being. It is your being. Every breath you draw is divine presence in motion. Every heartbeat echoes universal rhythm. Pete, a humble gardener, embodied this truth without naming it. While others rushed to distant lands seeking enlightenment, he tended his flowers with quiet joy. His presence alone seemed to make plants flourish and troubles dissolve. When asked his secret, he would smile and say, "I stopped trying to become what I already am." The highest vibration is not something you achieve. It is your natural state when you release the illusion of separation. The 33rd degree of consciousness opens not through striving, but through recognition of what has always been. Your search ends where it began, in the diamond-clear knowing of your own divine nature. You are not a seeker of power. You are power seeking to remember itself. The universe is not responding to your requests. It is expressing through your awareness. Every manifestation flows naturally when you acknowledge the creator you already are. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space and settle into deep stillness. Place one hand over your heart center. As you breathe slowly, visualize a perfect diamond of pure light glowing within your chest. Feel its radiance as your own essence. Softly whisper, "I am the power I sought." Let this truth resonate through every cell. The diamond is not a symbol. It is your awakened recognition. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. You have traversed the sacred pathways of consciousness, ascending through layers of understanding to arrive at this moment of divine recognition. The power spoken of in these chapters was never something to acquire, but rather an essence to remember, a frequency already encoded in your spiritual DNA. The 33rd degree of awareness opens not through force or strain, but through gentle acceptance of what has always been. As you release the need to become something other than what you are, the universe responds with increasing precision to your knowing. This is not manifestation through effort, but creation through allowance. Each principle shared here serves as a key to unlock deeper chambers of self-recognition. The law of attraction reveals itself not as a technique to master, but as the natural expression of your aligned awareness. When you truly understand this, external circumstances begin to mirror your inner certainty with effortless grace. Your journey through these teachings has prepared you for this ultimate realization. You are not separate from the power you seek. The very energy that creates worlds flows through your thoughts, speaks through your words, and moves through your actions. What once seemed like spiritual practice now becomes spiritual presence. As you integrate these understandings, resist the urge to force their application. Let them settle into your consciousness like seeds into fertile soil, sprouting naturally in perfect timing. The true mark of mastery is not in doing, but in being, allowing universal intelligence to express itself through your uniquely divine perspective. The 33rd degree consciousness recognizes that the universe is not a force to be commanded, but a presence to be embodied. In this space of awareness, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing, and creation flows through you as effortlessly as light through crystal.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.